Hey, what's up everybody? Mike Lovelace with Lovey's Fat Life. And today we got a great video for you. We're smoking a chub. Not a dub, but a chub. Those days are gone, but we're smoking a beef bologna chub. Man, at my age now, bologna gives me heartburn, but I've been craving one bad, and we're gonna smoke one today on the Recteq 700, the bull. We're gonna smoke it for about 4 hours. We're gonna add some rub to it, put some slather on it, some mustard, and then after that, we're gonna let it cool down a little bit, slice it into some thick slices, and then fry it up on the blackstone, and then eat some bologna sandwiches. So come hang out with us. Lovey's Fat Life. The fat stands for food and travel. We like grilling meat, smoking meat, griddling meat, and we like doing food reviews. And the travel part of it, we love going to the mountains and we love cruising. Lovey's Fat Life. Please like and subscribe to us if you like what we're doing. Come hang out with us. Thank you guys, and have a great day.
All right, so all we need for this is your favorite rub. We use Killer Hog's hot barbecue rub, some mustard for your slather. Some people don't use that. And then we use some Wonder Bar beef bologna. We purchased this at Walmart. This is a 5-pound chub. All right, so once you unpack your bologna, I take a paring knife and we're going to cut some diamond cuts into this. I initially thought I scored this too deep, but actually it was not too deep. I thought once I started cutting this, it may break apart, but it did not. So just make sure your paring knife is really sharp and you go diagonally. I like turning it, just laying it, on the flat side and cutting it downward to the left, starting out. You can cut it to the right. Eventually you will anyway. And turn the bologna and just cut diagonally all the way around, about an inch and a half in between slices or cuts downward until you reach the other side where you have already sliced or made your score. And then you'll turn around and flip it the other side, the other direction, and cut the opposite direction. And then once you finish that, then you'll want to cut the top and the bottom, make cuts, just probably 2 in each direction, and that's it. And it's kind of sometimes hard to see where you've cut before, but there's not a science to this, but you'll be shocked at how pretty the scores end up opening up once your bologna starts receiving that heat. But the deeper the scores, the more it's going to open up and the more smoke that will go into it. And you would be shocked that once you start slicing this, once the bark sets on the bologna, if you get a really sharp knife, that's going to be the key to this. It'll slice pretty easily. All right, now it's time to get this bologna ready for the smoker. So we're going to take a slather of mustard. We love mustard down here in the South, so some people don't use a slather. I like to use one. So with my left hand, I'm taking this mustard, French's mustard, and slathering this bologna down on all sides. And then we're getting ready to add this Malcolm Reed's Killer Hog's barbecue rub. I use the hot coming up. It does have a kick to it, so use whatever your favorite rub is, maybe even your homemade rub that you come up with that you like to use on your ribs or your pork butts. I go very generous with this on the outside of this, and I just turn this around and just give this a heavy dose of it. And once you hit all sides of this, then you also want to make sure you hit the both ends, the end caps on both of this sides of it, but be very generous with this. You can't put enough on this. And then we'll be ready to put this on the smoker. So again, use whatever favorite rub you have around the house that you love, that you enjoy. And then we're ready to put this on the smoker.
All right, guys, it's time to put this chub on the smoker. We got it at 180, and we got a blend of hickory, cherry, some hardwoods in the pellet chamber. Let's put this chub on. We'll let her roll for about an hour and we'll see what she looks like. She looks kind of lonely in there. We'll see after an hour how she looks. I'll touch this up with a little bit more rub on here. That was left over. I think it's gonna be some good eats, so let's check it out in about an hour. All right, so it's been 1 hour. And we're gonna see, normally I don't open these things up. We're gonna open this up after 1 hour so you can see what it looks like at the end of 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, and 4 hours. We're doing 180, and it's at 184. So let's see what this thing looks like after 1 hour on here. Okay. So after 1 hour, you're starting to see some of the scores open up. See some of the smoke is starting to penetrate on it. So yeah, it's starting to look good. Got a nice little color to it. And we're gonna bump this temperature up to 225 for the next 3 hours. So looking pretty. Adding that smoke to it. Let's see what it looks like at hour number 2. All right, we're 2 hours into this. 2 hours into this. Let's see what this thing looks like after 2 hours. All right, 2 hours, we're at 225. Woo, that's getting some smoke on it. 2 hours. Until that thing's opened up. Some smoke penetration down into it. Hours into it. It's getting a little bit darker, you can tell. A little bit more bark on it. But yeah, 2 hours into it, gonna go 2 more hours. All right, guys, 3 hours into this. Let's see what this chub looks like. 3 hours, and this thing is throwing the smoke to it on the Recteq RT700 bull. Let's see what this chub looks like 3 hours into this. Woo, it's getting a little darker now. I definitely got deep into my cuts. But yeah, get a little bit darker. Looking good. It's kind of overcast now, so the sun's not hitting it so bad, but yeah, it's gonna have some deeper smoke into it. May went a little bit too deep on my cuts. You can go definitely thinner on how deep you cut it, but smoke will definitely penetrate it. And we're gonna cut this thing up after 1 more hour. Fry up some bologna on the blackstone, and eat some sandwiches with it. All right, it's been 4 hours. 4 hours. We're gonna see what this looks like, and we're gonna take it off. All right, 4 hours, and this chub is done. And I may have got a little too deep on the cuts on it, but that's okay. We're gonna slice it into some thick slices and fry it up on the blackstone, and eat us a sandwich, put a little mayo and some bread, and try this chub out. And this had the Malcolm Reed hot barbecue seasoning on it. But it looks great. Got a nice bark on it. Nice and set. Let's get it off here and take it in the kitchen and let it sit for a little while.
All right, so I'm gonna tell you right now, this end cap piece right here was just incredible to eat as an appetizer. I'll show you here in a second. I cut it up into chunks and taste it, but that piece at the very end on both sides, as the pit master or the person that cooks this, you need to save that for yourself or special people in your family. This is the part where I was afraid going too deep with those spiral cuts that it would fall apart. It did not. That bark on the end was great, and I took this fillet or boning knife and cut it. It did not fall apart at all, so don't worry about going too deep as long as that bark sets, and this set perfectly, and then you can cut it the thickness of whatever you want to fry up or how thick you want it on your sandwiches. Yeah, as mentioned earlier, this is the special pieces right here, man. Cut these right here up, and you can see the smoke ring on the end caps here. These are special pieces right here, and they are really good. I've heard some people use these at parties, and they'll take and put toothpicks in these. And, you know, us hillbillies and rednecks, we can figure out a special way for party favors or hors d'oeuvres at our parties around the holidays. These don't disappoint.
All right, so now we're going to try this. This was the end cap of it. And I don't know if you can kind of tell that smoke, a little bit of a smoke ring on bologna, but it went down into it a pretty good amount. Maybe see it better from that angle. We try it this way. And we're going to try it with that Malcolm Reed's Killer Hogs hot sauce, hot rub. I love the saltiness of that bark on that bologna, that beef bologna. Man, it's going to be good when I fry that up on that blackstone. But man, that's really good. And that Recteq did a good job of adding that smoke to it. I thought I went too deep with my spirals, the score, but it didn't. It actually cut pretty good.
All right, we'll do a separate video on the blackstone and frying bologna up, but hey, we just took these thick cut pieces of bologna. You can do this on your skillet in your kitchen, but we threw it on the blackstone and fried up these thick cut smoked bologna, and we're getting ready to throw it on the bread and eat. Yes. All right, we're ready to build these sandwiches. Didn't take long to blackstone. You know, we had these things set on low on the blackstone, but just a couple minutes, about a minute and a half on each side. And bologna's already cooked anyway. We're just trying to crisp up both sides of the bologna. And then we had mayonnaise on each side. You know, hey, how do you like your bologna? Do you like it with mustard and mayonnaise? Normally I like mine with cheese as well. For this video, I just did it normal, without anything, kind of playing with just mayo. But I like normally mayo on one side, mustard on the other, and I like my cheese. And I'm kind of funny. I like my cheese to face my mayonnaise. Is anybody else kind of weird like me? Does mustard, need to be against the meat and the cheese against the mayo side? I don't know. I'm kind of weird like that. Anybody else that way? Kind of make a comment in the video here if you're that way too, but that's how I am.
All right, so we're gonna try this out. This smoked bologna, and then we fried it. Let's try this out. Man, it's just like I thought as a kid. but that smoke on the outside of it with that Malcolm Reed's Killer Hogs rub on the outside, with that bark and that heat, man, you got to try this out. This is definitely one, if you got a smoker, pellet grill, blackstone. I'm about to spit that out. I'm gonna have to edit that back out. But you don't have to do this on a blackstone. You can go ahead and fry it in your pan, or you don't even have to fry this if you don't want to. You can just do this smoked as well. But this is really good. You can see the smoke penetration on the ends, and then the other of it is the fried part of it. This lived up to my expectations. Thank you guys. Please like and subscribe, and you guys have a blessed day.
Hey, thanks for checking us out. If you like what we're doing, please like and subscribe. Lovey's Fat Life.